Hello. So in last lesson we learned how to do a cell. Now the cell was dynamic, and in this video I want to show how to make parametric cells. So I will start from where we left off last time, and the one you have, it looks like this. That sort of view, that's isometric view. Now the tools for you doing parametric are in this constraint. Now on the left here you have to do your 2D constraint. For example, if you draw this in 3D, for example, the I-beam profile, and you want us to change in shape, any shape or form, for example, you have to constrain. So you can see this line here, and that one should be perpendicular. So you can use this one. Then you can say between that and that parallel. So first you must constrain everything before trying to apply those parametric values. So, but in this one, I'll go simple. I'll make the mask go higher, grow bigger or smaller. And so I'll show something. So if I click here, for example, maybe I'll do front view. So the way how the card sees it, so that the size of the mast is from there, which is the top of the base, to there. So if you come here, you can see we have a figure here of 2 meters, and it doesn't include that one, which is fine. It's okay. But if you go to the standard, because obviously you have to order the parts from the manufacturer, and the way how they see it, that the mast height is from the bottom of the base to top of the I-beam. Now, so it means there's a 60 mil there's a 60 mil here gap mass or plate thickness, which you must take into account. Okay, so having seen that, so now this one I'll do isometric. So which means, let me show what I mean here. So this one here, I see the top of the plate. This one I see the bottom of the plate. It's very important that you can see both views. And the first thing is you have to do is to constrain so that the plate itself, it doesn't move. So you have to give it a fixed constraint. So it means the plate, it stays where it is supposed to stay. So now I'll put everything into wireframe. It's very key for you to do it because then you can see every line. So now you click the fixed here, then you click that, and that's it. So now the plate won't be moving. That's fine. Now the second thing, the top part, which is the I-beam and the mast height, they are both two different elements. So what the first thing to do is to try to glue them so that they become one part, so that when you extend the mast height, that stays there and together as a complete package. So to glue them, you need to go to, again, constraint. Now you have this 3D dimension. So you have to, the way how it works, you need the faces. So I want, let me show what I need here. Then it will make sense. So I'll put it illustration for now. So what I want here first, I want to glue. If you think about it, if you have a glue, you want to glue the bottom of that, well, the top of that face, okay, to the bottom of that mast, which in this view you can't see it, but you can see here. Let me see if I try to isolate, maybe display set. Now you can see the bottom of that. So you have to glue, you put the glue on that face there to the top of plate, which is here. So that's why I had these two views. So I will now release the set. So in this case, there's no way I can see the bottom of that. So I have to go to wireframe. That's what I meant. So go to wireframe, and now you can see that's the face you need. And you're looking from the bottom. Okay, I know sometimes it looks confusing because of doing all this, but this one you're looking from the top. So I go again to wireframe. That's fine. So now to use the constraint, you go to here, then you come to 3D dimension. So it says it constraint two solids to a set of distance apart. In our case, it's 0, but you still have to do it anyway. So I'm gonna zoom in, click here, and see that face is highlighted. You can see there. So click here, and then you're gonna click that one and that face there. So that worked. So it means those two parts, they will always be 0. Obviously, what it means, you can always do different setting if let's say something is slightly up ahead or apart. For example, if you have a cantilever, if you let's say if you're doing street lighting or something of a sort, even a cantilever, and if something is above here somewhere, then you can actually add that distance, or you can use that as well. Either way it works. So now we have that, and now I think we're good to go. So we need to add the variables. So also it's good for the masks to have like asset tag or a name. So if you have let's say 10 masks, if each of them that you can actually know where they are, what they're called. So I'll add, click here, I'll add two for that one, and I'll add the third and fourth, and I'll explain why. So the first one, I'll make it'll be text. This one I'll call it mask number, or no, better structure number. Okay, they might have different numbers depending on where they are. That's fine. And here also I'll put the same thing. So that will make someone actually have to change it. Good. Second one, I'll put chainage. That means the location of the mast along the track. So maybe I'll copy that one and change this into text again. You can see here you have many options. You have angle, number, integer. I just keep it simple. Text always work for both numbers and text. Unless if it is strictly number, then you can do number. Now this one here is where the magic happens. This will actually be driving the mast height. And in this one, I'll call something which is relevant. So it'll be the mast height. And that will include the base as well. So I will leave with this as a distance. That's fine. Now the second one, I told you that the actual steel height, it is the mast height and minus the base. In this case, our base is 60. So what I'll do here, I'll say column height, because it is a column really. So it's good if you keep this name so you can easily identify what they are. So column height, and rather than putting a specific value, I'm going to put a formula. So come here to the expression. Let me see if we can expand that a bit. Yeah, okay, so I think that, yeah, maybe let me see if we can do that's better. That's better. So now come to expression here, then you come here. Now I want to take the mast height, which is that one, okay, then minus 60 because it's in millimeter. Then you can do test and see if it's work. It says okay, that's fine. So now the mast height, I'll put it 3000 really. You can see now, come here, that does take away the 60 and give you the actual height of the column. That's fine. So now we have that, and now we need to apply it on the solid extrusion. So if you come here, for example, you just need to change the 2 into the column height. Okay, and you can see immediately that changed. Fine. So now if I just show you what happens here, so go to front view. Let me see. So here I have the mast height at 3 meters. So that also it includes the base. So if I measure, for example, you can see from the base, if you go up there, exactly 3 meters. So that was working fine. So now everything is done. So now it's about time to make it into a parametric cell. So I will, yeah. So first thing is, before, for me, you have to add the cell origin. So it's easier if you have something that you can snap onto. So I'll create a circle here because it's just easier, especially if you drawn the mast from 0 start point. So I'll move it towards 0 and 0 here. Right, let me see. Good. And then just to check if it's exactly at the bottom, so go front view. You can see that's perfect. Good. So again, back to view again. Always do from top view, because then when you bring them in, you can use the plan view. You bring it in the top, and then it's easy then to kind of see the other views. So that's done. Now I can go to annotate and then define cell origin. So you have to put your center snap. So I'll choose it from there, then stays. So see, now it's there exactly at the bottom of the mast. Also, you can see here, let me see, you can see that as well. It's like a plus here. If I do, you can see front, you can see it's there. Okay, so what I will do, I'll close this view for now. Okay, just have that one is enough. So I don't need the circle. That can go. And now let's create a cell. So let's go to annotate again, and then open that one. You need to. I'll create a new file for this one. So maybe new, because I'm going to do a few of these. So okay, so I'll call it parametric cells library. Right, that's done now. So now you have that, and next thing you have to select. You can see it kind of activates the creation tool. So go to create. Now this is very important. You should change the graphic to parametric. Otherwise it will be just still fine. And I can say you can give it any name you want, but it's good for me. I'll keep it. Maybe I'll say mast type A for this video. I know it has a name, but just to keep it simple, and you can say you can put description. I can say cantilever mask. It's good to keep something which is relevant to your team and say create. So now we have that one, and you can see it says type parametric. So now let's test it. Let's see if it is parametric. Okay, so I'm gonna, rather than having a new drawing, I just do it here. So I'm gonna go there and model. I will create a new model. Let's see, 3D design. I'll say testing model. You could have a new file, but I just want to see if it works. For me, that's fine. It's there. Now I will bring a cell. So to bring a cell, you go to attach. So annotate. Make sure it is active cell. So click here, make it active by doing that. So now it is active cell. It's fine. Now to bring it in, when you click place, it comes in. Let me zoom in. You can see. Don't see it now. Maybe it's too big or too small. Okay, it's there. Good. So I'll bring it in again so you can see what's happening. So I will delete that. So if I bring it in, go to annotate, then click there. You should open. You see there, for example, that's a window. So from here, you can actually on the fly, you can change the height. Okay. So for now, I'll place like this, for example, and show you what I mean. So I'll do second view and see. So that's a height. Now I must like this when you want to change the height. You can just click here, go to properties, and you can change. Now you can see it adds an extra variable. So if I put 2 here, it just works, right? If I take a measurement, I think you all know that's gonna work anyway. From there, obviously I need to change this now. It should say 3. Yeah, well, sorry, 2, because I put 2 there. So also I'll give it a name. So I'll call it, maybe this, I'll say mast 1, and I'll put maybe 0 kilometer. So I'll say 0 kilometer. 0 kilometer. So this, let's say from the start, for example, that's that. So let's add another one. That's that done now. Maybe I'll put one slightly. So let's assume that's a track. Okay, just keep it simple like that, and I'll add another mast here. So just to show you what's happening on the fly, I might put this isometric so you can see exactly what's happening. Good view. Good. So I'll bring another one. Okay, now look at this now. So see here, this is 3. Okay, so I'll change here 3 to 5. And 5, I said, yeah, 5, and I'll say this is must be, and I'll say this is what, maybe 10 kilometer, 10 kilometer. Yeah, that's fine, and I'll place it here. So you can see now that is bigger. So I only had to do one cell, and now I have all the variations. Okay, so I hope this helps, and see you on my next video for more hard example of doing or more trickier example of doing parametric cells. Thank you very much.